Good morning and welcome to this edition of Wheeleez Tech Talk. Today we're going to show you how to change a Wheeleez tire. Here we have a 30 centimeter Wheeleez wheel up on the bench here, and it's, as you can see, low on air. We'll call it flat. Tools that will help you do this procedure are a 10 millimeter open-end wrench and a 10 millimeter socket on a power tool and a small hammer for tapping. First thing we'll do is put the box wrench on the bolt head side, and then we will undo all the nuts. There's 4 of them. Once the nuts are off, we can pull the bearing retainer rings and the bolts. Next we'll remove the bearing cassettes or bushing. Bearing cassettes in this case, they're pressure fit, so you just work them side to side and knock them out. Once that's done, we'll be able to separate the hub halves and change out the tire if necessary. That's it for the disassembly. Now we'll look at reassembling. And now for the reassembly of the wheel. First we'll take the hub halves and slide them in from either side of the tire, making sure that they seat all the way together. You can see where they're coming all the way together. Next we will put the bearing cassettes back in. First the hard plastic washer, then the wide felt washer, then the bearing cassette. And an important note here is these notches on the bearing cassette circumference are not for the spoke, but rather for the bolt to pass through. And so you want it in between the spokes with this notch. And you'll be able to look down in there and see the bolt hole that you're going to line up with that notch. Next we'll take the small hammer and tap it into place. Make sure that it seats all the way down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Hard plastic washer, wide felt washer. These are seals to keep sand and particulate matter out of the bearing races. Then we'll make sure that the notch lines up with the hole for the bolt, not the spoke. Once we get that in place, we'll tap it down, and we can then feed the bolts with the bearing retainer ring back down through the hub halves and out the other side. And put the other bearing retainer ring on. Once you get all the bolts all the way through and the nuts loosely threaded on the ends, you can come back and snug those down. There, opposite side, there, third one, and fourth one. Then we can go about reinflating. And we've got some tools to help you with that. In our accessories section, we have a little kit that gives you a valve extender that permits a bulky air chuck from this pump to go on. You screw that on there, and then the air chuck can grab it better. And if you've got an aged tire, and it's leaking past the valve core, there are replacement valve cores in that little kit, along with a valve core tool for install and remove. That's it. We hope this helps you. Thanks.